A very good afternoon to you. Welcome to Scholarlight. My name is Robinson Okenye. Today we are coming to you from Samburu in Kwale County, and it's all about the East Africa Safari Classic. A very interesting rally. Remember, the drivers are supposed to cover 4,000 kilometers, transversing through 11 counties. Yesterday we had the prologue in Vipingo, that is in Kilifi County. Today we are in Kwale. Tomorrow it will be a different county. So I'm here in Samburu, where the first stage of the day comes to an end. We've had a couple of drivers pass through this. They will have other stages to go through the day, two more stages to go through the day, so that they can cover 241 stages. That is the rallying stages when you put aside liaison kilometers, but 241 kilometers of competitive rallying they will be covering today. We'll be waiting, of course, for the drivers to come to Rally HQ so that we can get to hear from them what they have to say, rather, about how the day has been for them and what to expect from tomorrow. So with me, I have the itinerary of the day, how the day, was expected to be like. Of course, this after the prologue yesterday. And as I can hear behind me, there is a car that has just completed the first stage of the day. So they're just handing their notes before they are cleared to move to the second stage of the day. But remember, the first stage, that is Sokoke to Samburu. So they were covering 120 kilometers, and he's just done his bit of the 120 kilometers. And remember, competitively today, he's supposed to cover 241.84 kilometers, and liaison, he has a liaison kilometers of 117, which makes for a day total of 358 kilometers that he is expected to cover. So he's just finished. That is how quick this is. He's just finished, and that is car number 47, and he's now heading to go to the second stage of the day. So the first stage, Sokoke to Samburu, 120 kilometers, and of course, he's just finished that. The second stage of the day will see drivers from go from Makinon to Mwatate, which is 89 kilometers, and then of course Mariwenyi Tungutuni will be the final stage of the day, where they will be covering 31 kilometers. So probably a brief description of these stages before I get to speak to Eric Njiru. The first stage that Eric Ochieng, not Njiru. I don't know why Njiru came into mind, but the first stage, it's a very iconic stage in that it's been used for many local rallies here in the country, and also for the classic, and it's very fast and with lots of twists, with lots of gravel, with very, very jumpy stages. So very, very interesting that we have that right there. The last 30 kilometers is on black cotton soil, and if wet, it's normally a big challenge to the drivers. So luckily enough, today the drivers did not experience that. Now the second stage, that is Makinon to Mwatate, it's a very fast stage of big culverts, extremely smooth, but there will be many wash away due to the rainy damage that we have. And then the third stage, that is Mariwenyi Tungutuni, it's very short, twisty sections with many culverts and wash away. Some places rather are extremely narrow. So that is the description of the stages that we have for the day. So I want us to first take a look at some of the highlights from the drivers as they were coming to the finish point of the first stage here in Samburu.
What the fuck? Hey!
Yes, some of the action from the morning stage that came to a conclusion here in Samburu in Kwale County. And right about now, I want to speak to a man that was cheering some of the cars that we saw here, Eric Ocheng. If you can please approach here. Of course, he's a man that likes to decorate himself. I don't know why, but Eric, I want us to talk a bit about yesterday where we had the prologue, and today the stages that are there and what to expect probably from tomorrow. First things first, I saw you cheering on Baldev Chaga. He was the first car that came to the finish line here at the first stage, the finish point for the first stage in Samburu.
Yeah, Robinson Kenya, thank you very much. I was watching Baldev Chaga and it was reminding me of last year's episode when he won the classic rally in record time. Today, he started so well and he was the first to complete the stage, but is actually not leading. The guy who is leading is from Italy. He's called Eugene Amos. He's currently on lead after the 120 kilometers Sokoke Samburu stage, and he's being followed by the guy who won the prologue yesterday, which was 15.5 kilometers. This is none other than John Coyne of Ireland. And remember, John Coyne is making his debut.
Yes.
So that can tell you that this rally is going to be stunning. There's going to be lots of surprises, and probably Baldev Chaga will have to work hard if he wants to make a back-to-back victory.
Speaking of surprises, last year, I mean, we had the likes of Ken Block leading very well through all the stages. Then his car, had issues towards the end of the rally, and then he had to retire. I do see probably John Coyne, of course, going all the way through after we saw what he did yesterday.
Actually, he has a chance because I remember 2019. This is how Chris Rosenberg of Austria started. Many people wrote him off. Especially that he had a woman navigator.
Yes.
But the guy just carried on until he won the rally in 2019.
Yes.
And right now, even Chris has said that he wants to do a similar feat.
Yes, we've also seen women coming into this rally. Women are embracing the classic. What are your thoughts on that?
I think this is something which is so good to women in this country. It's a great challenge to women in this country. I've understood one thing with the Kenyan women, that in the East Africa Safari Classic Rally, women are more on the organization side, but they are not on the participation side. Yes. So this is a wake-up call for them to move from the organization planning process to back to the wheel.
Yes, but we also have an all-woman crew here.
Law is Olga and Lelia. They are actually doing so well. Olga she's a musician.
Yes.
At the same time, she is also propagating for a cause, and the cause is to raise funds. Is to raise funds to build a clinic for the Maasai community.
Yes.
So I'm so hopeful that she's going to meet her target because already she has raised half of the funds. So she just needs the other one to top up and carry on with the noble initiative she's carrying on.
It's going to be very, very interesting. And first timers, they've shown that they have what it takes, to attack this rally and probably win it. So we'll be looking forward to see what they have in store during the remaining days. Probably, Eric, we have a long way to go. Remember, we have to go to Naivasha, then Naivasha, Nairobi, come all back all the way to Kwale County, and the rally ends in Ukunda. Probably, which stage are you looking forward to?
Amboseli.
Why Amboseli?
My friend, we were there last year and the sun there was scorching.
Yes.
Guys were dropping dead. There was no water. We saw animals dying. So it was one of the most toughest area to cover because of the terrain, which is also tough. At the same time, it is also serene because of its flora and fauna. You meet elephants, there are gazelle all over, hippos. So it's a kind of a challenging terrain.
Yes.
And then remember, there's also one thing that happened along the route.
Yes.
Last year. The route, one of the section, I think was it section 21.
Yes.
It was cancelled because they ran it on Sunday, and on Sunday everyone was going to church. So instead of guys heading to church, they congregated alongside the road and they blocked the vehicles from passing.
Yeah,
So
but we've also seen that here along Sokoke to Samburu. We've seen guys going to church in the morning while the cars were coming this way.
but it was not as packed as
Yes.
as in Amboseli. Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. Eric will be looking forward to that to see whether Amboseli will give us the atmosphere that it gave us last year. So Eric Ocheng, also make sure to check out the Standard tomorrow to make sure you get to see the interaction that he's had with some of the drivers that are taking part in the classic at the moment, and of course what other people are saying about this rally. So yesterday I had a chance of speaking to Safaricom. Remember, they gave 6 million to the classic, and they're saying that their love for sport will not stop there. Let's listen in.
We believe sport is a way in which people can express themselves, people can enjoy themselves, and people are able to do a lot more transformational things. So for us, if you see, not only do we support rally, we support athletics, we support soccer. I hope you're following us on Chapadimba. So for us, it's an expression of intent, it's an expression of creativity and what we can do to transform society. Rally is the intersection between engineering and skill. And so, you know, when you think about a car and you think about speed and you think about coordination, that's what rally does. So we see the talent, especially here, where we find very young drivers. You also find women drivers. And remember, we're very passionate about those parts of the community for us. So for us, we want to be able to help with technology. So today, even as I was flagging off the cars, the coordination in terms of how the times start, you know, making sure we're able to give them the data that they can do their navigation. It actually allows us to use all the different, technology points that can enable our society and community to grow. So that is why we're particularly passionate about rally. And although this may not be the fastest rally, but you know, M-Pesa is known for speed and excellence, and so rally also then comes synonymous with that. You see, for people to be whole, it's not just about how you make money, but it's also how you move and work with your body. It's also your spirit that has to be taken care of. And what does sport do? Sports make sure that our minds, our bodies, and our souls are connected to something that's meaningful. It also allows people to connect, to come together as a community, to do something that is exciting, that builds their skills, that makes them feel free, excited, and able to collaborate. So it's those things that we emulate around sport that we want to be part of. Because remember, for our economy to move forward, for societies to move forward, it needs us to collaborate and do things. And so sport is a very big part in terms of how we build teams to succeed.
Yes, and what are you looking forward to for the next 9 days?
Oh, I'm waiting to see. I'm really hoping that there's a rally car which has a father and son. I'm really hoping to see what they can do. I've never seen so many Porsches in one place. There are about 27 Porsches in this. And that is exciting. That means there's also a lot of investment that has come here. In Kenya, Porsches are not like common cars to see. And so to see them here in our, inside our fields, it's actually very exciting. So I'm waiting to see how it comes out. I'm hoping to see them win, because I believe women are excellent at whatever they put their minds to. I will be meeting with them. I haven't met with them yet, but I will be meeting with them, and I'm following them as they do the circuit.
Yes, remember we are in Samburu in Kwale County, and this is the finish line. A number of drivers coming through. Of course, they are finishing the first stage. That is from Sokoke to Samburu. That is Axel from England is taking part in the rally. The drivers coming to the area where they have to give their notes before proceeding to the next stage. We also have one more driver who's just coming in to hand over his notes so that he can continue to the next stage of the rally. They have to cover 241 kilometers for the day before they think of what, or rather they take the cars back to the service park and they prepare for tomorrow. So remember, 3 stages for the day. After this, they think about the stages that we have for tomorrow, where they will embark on a totally different route, and then after that we'll be waiting to see who will be the winner. That is car number 23 Holmqvist from Sweden, handing his notes there before heading to the next stage. Now, remember, Standard Group is part of the East Africa Safari Classic, and got a chance of speaking to the marketing manager, that is Seth Enos, and he says that we will be bringing you bit by bit of whatever is happening here on the ground, so that you get to know all the drivers that are taking part in this, and get to hear their reactions about how the 2023 edition of the classic has been. And aside from that, also making sure that you get to know all the drivers in and out. Listen in.
So far, it's exciting. We know it's one of the toughest rallies around besides WRC. We know it for its nostalgic moment from the days we were young, coming all the way, and the tough endurance expected of drivers. So, as Standard Media Group, we are happy to be partners and one of the sponsors of the Classic Rally. And as you all know, Standard Media Group is really the home of sports, with KTN Home, the Standard newspaper, and we bring you all these action. So you can be sure to catch most of these actions, highlights on our platforms, KTN News and the Standard.
Why the Classic Rally for Standard?
Well, it's because of its heritage and nostalgic moments. Standard, of course, has been there for a while, and we are really passionate about these organizations that have been here for a while and doing the right cause. And beyond the rally, there are some exciting things like the classic team has been able to pay off the carbon emissions that are going to be done by the cars. And that is an exciting thing for us. And there's been a lot of tree planting as CSR, and Standard Media Group is also big in the climate action and tree planting. So these initiatives have really brought us together.
Thank you, Seth. What are you looking forward to the next 10 days?
Well, I'm looking forward to an exciting and competitive action. I'm looking forward to traversing different counties. I'm looking forward to taking the KTN brand in different places. So to our audience following the action, spot the KTN news, and there are a lot of rewards for you. Very nice t-shirts, very nice merchandise, nice souvenirs for Christmas. Please don't fail to catch the action on KTN News and the Standard newspaper for the best highlights of the rally.
Thank you very much, Seth.
Thank you so much, Robinson. Good job.
Now, one man has been here at the finish line of the first stage. That is Aslam, a rally enthusiast. He comes from Mombasa. He came all the way here to make sure that he gets a glimpse of what is happening. And you can see the man with binoculars that has been trying to make sure that he's not left out of the action. He's also interacting with the drivers, just, or making sure that he can tell them whether the tires are flat, whether they have a puncture, interacting with them one-on-one, because after the finish, it's not competitive anymore. So you can get to speak to the drivers and hear what they have to say on how the first stage has been. And I got a chance of speaking to him earlier on. That is car number 21. Khan taking part in the rally. So I got a chance of speaking to Aslam, and he tells me that, he's been really following the classic, and he wanted his sons to get into rallying, but the state of the economy does not allow him at the moment to support his sons to rally in Kenya at the moment. Let's listen in.
It's a very first section right now. They started from Sokeko coming all the way to Samburu. So this is where we are standing right now, is the first city. This is where they're stopping for the first section. And I heard that the route inside is a bit wash away, slightly rough. So it's challenging for them as well. Yeah.
What does the rally mean for you, the classic? What does it mean for you?
Oh, it takes you back to the history. Yeah. So when it started all the way from 64, so basically it's in history. And it's very good that we Kenyans have got that opportunity to bring them back every 2 years. So it's really very good, fantastic.
Who are you rooting for?
Of course, Kenyans.
Yes.
Boldy.
Yes.
Kaltundo, Iron Duncan. Yes.
Yes, and probably this time round they say that with us having some little bit of rain, and there are routes that are a bit mud and there are routes that are dusty. From a point of view, is that what you come out to see? How they can navigate that?
Exactly. Now that is what we call it safari. Yeah. That's why it's called safari. They'll get all kind of, especially right now, most of the Kenya parts in Kenya, rain is there.
Yes.
So the routes are not going to be easy. Few parts they'll get rain. Most of the time they'll get some dry patches as well. So it's challenging for both machine and the drivers as well.
Yes. I see you came with the family. Yes, you also want them to get into rallying.
Especially this, my two kids, they are into it right now, but I actually stopped them not to do it.
Why?
Economic is bad, boss.
Yes.
And coming into rally sport is very expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, a very interesting story right there. But remember, we'll be following up on the rally later on in our bulletins. We'll get to tell you who is the overnight leader and what to expect from the drivers tomorrow. Now, I want us to shift gears from the classic. We get into some rugby action. We had a couple of matches yesterday in Kenya Cup, and KCB were amongst the big scorers of the day, getting a 79-19 win against Catholic Monks. This is what Coach Andrew Amonde had to say.
I think we still have a mixed feeling about the game. We started at a slow pace as we